Our technology is designed to help people who are in remote environments where they're away from professional medical care. And at 30,000 feet in the air, an aircraft is one of those environments. So what we do is we design technology to help cabin crew during a medical emergency or a medical event that takes place on board. The beauty with MIME is that it's real time, and should the aircraft have connectivity on board, then we can send that data at that point, enabling the real time information of the passenger, the real physiology of the passenger, to be viewed by a medic on the ground. So this is an example of in-flight where Ryan has informed me that he has chest pain, and I'm just going to talk him through some of the things that may happen. So by checking the passenger status, I can tell that Ryan is alert. His airways are clear. His breathing we have confirmed is irregular, and he is pale. As you can see, Ryan is wearing a wireless sensor patch. And that data will record the ECG. Now, it's not the cabin crew to read it, it's for clinicians on the ground to make that determination. So we will send that data straight to doctors on the ground. You don't have to leave the passenger's side during a medical event. We have a mechanism or feature in Aiber which allows the crew to communicate in real time to the ground, and for ground medics to review that data and recommend. And this is used using a digital chat functionality. So there's no interference of vibration or noise, for example, that you might get on a headset or a phone. That's one of the key changes that we're offering. I've said that you are feeling slightly sick. Mm-hmm. One of the challenges to the airline industry is the cost of a diversion or an unnecessary diversion. This can cost anything from $20,000 up to $500,000, depending on the circumstances. So one of the big impacts that Aiber can have is to help to reduce those unnecessary diversions. Well, the first thing to say is that aviation industry take any communicable disease very seriously, and they do issue guidance to travelling passengers and the crew themselves. However, technology like this is useful in that it can pick up any change that the passenger may occur in flight. So if they have presented to the crew with a fever, for example, then using Aiber will able to pick up if that temperature would change in the passenger, if the passenger is deteriorating, for example. And the key thing about this is it allows procedures to be in place for the crew to make action afterwards, and also to make good diversion decisions if necessary.
There are always risks involved in unplanned landing somewhere. Sometimes the diversions are thousands of miles to get to a hospital which might be suitable. And so there's lots of decisions going on which are very distracting in themselves. And of course, you've got to be aware of the fact that it inconveniences other passengers enormously and causes a lot of expense for the company if you get that decision wrong, if it's something that doesn't require diversion. What tends to happen is the doctor will make an assessment based on the evidence that the cabin crew can glean, and once he's made that decision, we don't revisit that decision again unless there's a marked change in the way the passenger presents. So, and sometimes it can be a bit too late, maybe possibility perhaps, We obviously keep a close eye on any passengers that are not well, but it's just a subjective assessment. It's not objective the same way that this constant, data transmission would be.